Hi there, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Tina from tinahills.com, and this video is a continuation of yesterday's. 2 days ago I made this video called Lilith and Her Sacred Horse, and I got a lot of response in my email and tons of comments to friends I shared with, and they wanted to know more because this is such a controversial topic and there is such little information about this. I have decided to share some of what I found in my research with you. You probably know that I have been looking at exploration of the sacred whore and sacred courtesan, the geisha archetype, and I found they existed and they were venerated and very well respected all throughout history. Okay, till very recently when the word prostitute began to take on a negative meaning. Okay, the priestesses of Lilith in Erech, in Samaria, in Babylon, in the temples of Ishtar, all the men that would gather from war to be healed, they would come to these sacred whores because they understood healing that the domestic woman did not understand, because this was not a job. A job was child rearing. Women at that time were the properties of their husbands, but it was these temple priestesses that were free to explore their sexual side, something that was denied to Eve, but Lilith decided that she wanted it anyways, and she was ready to be cast out. So I want to read to you from Henry Miller. Previously, when I began to write this tale, I set out by saying Mel Claude was a whore. She's a whore, of course, and I'm not trying to deny it. But what I say now is, if Claude is a whore, then what name shall I find for the other women I know? So this is where patriarchy has positioned us. The bourgeois world hating the so-called lady of the night. The lady of the night being ridiculed, being disrespected in society, vilified in society. It's because we do not understand this archetype. Okay, we cannot understand how can a man give money. It's not the money, it was energy before, because when you would go to visit the priestesses in Erech, when you would go to meet the priestesses in Babylon, you would take gifts with you, you would take tributes with you. Okay, we see that coming through the femdom line when men tribute their mistress. So this is something we've got to understand, that the concept of a sexually independent woman that uses her spiritual powers to heal society has been vilified, and she's been reduced to nothing but brainless, educationless, in deep distress, or someone who's shallow, wants money. This is not the energy of the sacred whore or the geisha. The geishas actually had about 7 to 8 hours of tea ceremony. They were well versed in poetry, literature, painting, dancing. So they were the companions to the emperor. Okay, and childbearing was not the be-all and end-all of their life, as it has been for all women. Women still, till today, we are judged if we decide to not procreate. If we decide to procreate and have multiple children, we are judged. If we have children too early, we are judged. If we have kids late in life, we are judged. So, our uterus is not even ours. So it's our reproductive rights are not ours. So we need to understand that this is not the position of the sacred whore. So a sex worker now would do well to imbibe the energies of the sacred whore, because then each man she will come in contact with, she will be healing. It will be an act of healing, an act of worship, an act of meditation. It won't be like something we're awkward about or uncomfortable about. So this is from where comes the understanding of the sacred war. Women who would heal these men through sex magic, because war had taken the life out of them. If you look at the images of soldiers, American soldiers, before war, during war, after war, you will see how badly PTSD has affected all of them. So this is what the sacred priestesses knew how to do. And it was not that they had to have sex every time. Sometimes it was not even touching. A good sexual healer will be able to awaken your kundalini or give you a deep, whole, full body orgasm without even touching you. This is what the sacred whores did. They did not have to touch every man. They did not need to. Sometimes it was more like Reiki. Sometimes it was a massage. Sometimes it was a hug. We know how big hug therapy is in the world right now. A lot of people need touch. Okay, because without touch, society becomes the way it has become now. We don't know how to touch. Men don't want to touch men, it's gay. Women don't want to touch women because, you know, she doesn't like it or whatever. We need touch. And it was not like these women thought that their husbands were going to fall in love with these priestesses. That was out of the question. There was only healing and awakening the kundalini. That was the purpose of this interaction. So there was no jealousy with the wives and the priestesses. Okay, of course, with Abrahamic religions, the perversion of the feminine started. And this is why we see these patriarchy degrading, humiliating, sexually empowered women over and over again. I heard that in Iceland, if you're called a slut, it means you have your shit together. Okay, so the Nordic societies are known to be very inclusive of gender and equality. So it's illegal to pay someone less because they are a woman. And we see this everywhere in the world. It's rampant. So from this point, the understanding that if you're a slut, you have it together, then, you know, you bring forth many more partners. So this is not something like you're desperate, you need money, so you go out and you do whatever with your Johns or your clients. This is not it. This is the act of awakening someone's kundalini through sexual magic, through your sacral chakra. It doesn't have to be direct penetration or sex. It can be touch, heal. It can be long distance healing. It can be anything. This is not the ways of the priestess are her own, okay, are hers own only. It's not for us to know what the ways were, how Lilith and her sacred whores, what they did. We've of course understood the concept and grown with it. That's what many people who deal with sacred sexuality, they tend to understand, okay? How deep is the experience? How deep can we go? Okay, what is healing? What is going to bring life back into this person? Okay, and we know that at the crux of all energy is the sexual energy. So the point of this is that we need to have our reproductive rights back. We need to feel free and equal in a society where we are equal citizens, where we get paid equally, where, you know, fathers also have to take paternity leave and things like that, basic, involving the male. That's why female-led relationships they have to make a comeback. Yes, polyamory could be making a comeback, but I mean, female-led relationships are definitely going to be huge in the future, because it is this feminine Shakti that holds together this the family. I've seen this play out in so many families, actually. So we need to understand that, and the sacred whores were there to heal the society. They were sexually empowered women who understood that the sexual organs and the kundalini are all connected. You can use this energy and destroy yourself and destroy others and become a fornicator, or you can use this energy, bring it to Sushumna and awaken that Kundalini. It is ultimately up to you. So join me as I explore further in many more videos about the archetype of the sacred whore. Let me know what you think in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe, and visit my website. Thank you.